Hey guys, how's it going? I just got in about noon from Dallas. Stayed overnight. Stayed Friday night in Dallas. And we went to the state fair, got my picture taken in front of Big Tex and the two big helmets in front of the Cotton Bowl. And we went in about 2 hours before game time, and we settled in. We settled in to our seats, and it was completely empty before 2 hours prior. And then it was a long waiting, and it gave me a lot of time to think about what I was going to see on the field. Leading up to the game, I was sort of dreading the game. I was starting to question, did I really, why did I spend all that money to go watch my team get blown out by Oklahoma? And was it worth it? But then, once I got into the stadium and sat down, that all went away. And my sense of anticipation and excitement built, and all of, and I just became more excited and ready to have fun. I just I didn't think about how how I if I wasted that money or not. I Anyway, the experience was great. Our crowd was loud, and is it was it was probably louder than I have ever heard DKR. It was deafening. You could hardly hear yourself think. I was I was so amazed. Um, anyway, we kicked off to Oklahoma. John Mateer played. I knew he was going to play, and I was thinking, oh no. And he uh he started out the game well with a good opening drive for a touchdown for a field goal, and that put our lead put there gave them the lead at 3-zip. And then we then we kind of we we gave Arch some easy throws, and we kind of struggled to move the ball at first, but our defense held the fort down early while our offense found while our offense got our bearings, got their bearings. Malik Muhammad, who did not play in that Florida game where his absence was really showed, he had two key interceptions. One, um, we couldn't capitalize on it because we missed a field goal that would have tied the game, and I was like thinking, oh no, here it goes. But our defense stood strong, and then they went down the field and we held them to another field goal, and that was like, okay, we got to do something. And we had a great drive. Quinn Travion Wisner had a great run, broke off a good run against that OU defense, and it put us in field goal range, put us in their territory, and we got we got in field goal range, and we knocked in a field goal to make it 6-3, and then OU, they in our favor, they ran a pretty conservative clock management at the end of the half. Tier just chucked it into the end zone with little time left, and Muhammad intercepted that pass, and we went down into the half 6-3, and I was thinking, okay, we're still in this. We got a chance if we get the ball to start the third quarter. Now we got to score. We got to score. We got If we get a touchdown, we take the lead. And then coming out of the half, our offense came alive. We went down the field. We got a touchdown. Um, Arch picked up some third downs on some really nice passes. He wasn't he wasn't running for his life. Even when there wasn't anything there, he made the most out of it. He found DeAndre Moore in the end zone for a touchdown that gave us the lead. And then we held OU. We got another interception, Tier's third interception, which was so unlike him, but obviously he's rusty. So they OU's offense, they're not very good offense. They're very mediocre offensively, and it showed. They just don't have much of a running game, and it just they couldn't run the ball against us. We missed another field goal, and then we hold them again, and eventually we get another drive into OU territory, and then we kick a field goal and take a 13-6 lead, and then OU has the ball, and they commit some costly mistakes that pin them in a long yardage situation, and then they stall out, and then uh, what's his name? Uh, what's his name? Uh, we get a punt return for a touchdown that gives us a 20-6 lead, and our crowd is pumped up, and it takes the life out of the Sooner Nation, and their fans start to file out, and 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 then we stop Oklahoma on downs, Then we knock in another field goal to give us some breathing room. Arch had some nice runs today. He didn't get sacked. He only got sacked once. I felt like we didn't play. We didn't commit many stupid penalties. We committed a few early on, but we didn't make the costly penalties that at the wrong time. Our offensive line held up against a really dominant Oklahoma defense and gave Wisner some really good rush lanes and really gave Manning some time. As high as we are, part of me is saying, where was this against Ohio State and Florida? We could easily be 6-0 and 2-0 in conference play. But now we still keep our outside shots of a college football playoff hopes alive, and we still stay alive in the SEC title race with a victory over Oklahoma, and their strength of schedule, it doesn't get any easier for them. We got some tough games ahead of us. We got a winnable game next week against Kentucky. It won't mean anything. This win won't mean anything if we lay an egg again in the following weeks against teams we're supposed to beat and just lose out. It's not gonna mean anything. We gotta we gotta use this to save our season and do something with it and not get overconfident because things were looking bad coming in and that it and I knew that two of the last times that a couple times to a decade ago when things were looking bad, Texas pulled off a victory upset over OU, but they couldn't put the rest of their season together. Let's see if this team is any different than those teams. I think Arch is a better quarterback than Case McCoy and Gerard Hurd. I think that we have different athletes than those teams had. I think that we have more talent. I think we have a better mindset. And hopefully we use that talent and mindset to our advantage. We gotta make something out of this. We gotta win out. We'll see you later, guys. Hook 'em horns, Texas fight. We're coming for you, SEC and Kentucky.